So in the last 5 days, Tesla stock officially up 35.49%. Overnight, up more than 15%. Sure am glad I trimmed my Tesla position and announced to the world that I was doing so. Wait, I didn't, because I'm still buying with every spare cent. Over the last 1 year, we can see Tesla stock, the very picture, the very definition of volatility. Huge, violent, wild swings, up and down. This is par for the course. One of the many reasons why, other than the fact that I know my brain is far too small, why I don't try and time the market. Because shit like this is a regular occurrence. 26.5% crash, a 28.5% crash, a 25% crash, a 30% crash, a 45% crash, a 36% surge. And I think it's reasonable to say anyone who believes their brain is big enough to time the market and know these kind of wild swings are going to happen and predict them ahead of time is in fact suffering from small brain, large delusion syndrome. So what on earth could possibly account for the recent surge in Tesla stock, particularly overnight? After all, you don't see Tesla stock up 15% every day, although it's not the first time. Maybe the first time in the last 2 or 3 years. But historically, this is definitely not the first time we've seen such a surge. So it turns out that some investors who could have known what was coming before today have just figured out a portion of what is coming. As a result, daily volume on Tesla stock was close to 250 million shares today, whereas the 3-month average volume on Tesla stock is roughly 100 million. Clearly, a lot of, is that going to happen? I better buy some Tesla stock was going on, especially from big money investors. I do want to stress that over the past 5 days, despite Tesla stock having surged well in excess of 30%, there have been no revelations or things that we didn't know were coming. None. There are certain dots that we can see in the distant future. For example, wide-scale release of FSD globally, new generations of more affordable vehicles produced at scale, helping Tesla to get towards their 20 million vehicles a year by 2030 target. 20 million vehicles a year by 2030. I could keep going on. We know these things. These are publicly stated goals and or inevitabilities. Yet, most investors doubt Tesla and instead wait until Tesla joins one of the dots between then and the present moment. Case in point, Musk's surprise visit to China. Let's see what happened and try to figure out, did we already know this was inevitable? Or is this a huge surprise that shocked absolutely everyone that no one could possibly have seen coming ahead of time?
It's good to see electric vehicles making progress in China. All cars will be electric in the future.
Okay, Musk in China then. Let's bring in Bloomberg's Jill Desus in Hong Kong. Jill, Musk says it as a surprise, as we say. What is he trying to accomplish exactly?
Well, Tom, it seems like it's all about Tesla, this surprise trip. I actually found it particularly, catching us off guard just because what we had been preparing for just about a week ago was a visit by Elon Musk to India, where he was expected to meet potentially with Prime Minister Modi. That, of course, he had postponed, saying he actually had some very heavy Tesla obligations. Not sure how much that's related, but now here he is in Beijing. He actually met with Premier Li Qiang, who was working as the top Communist Party official in Shanghai when Elon Musk just a few years ago put together that deal for the Tesla Gigafactory. It's critical, most important global production plant. Now it seems like what Elon Musk is ultimately trying to accomplish here is making some headway on getting full self-driving, what Tesla calls full self-driving. It's sort of the semi-autonomous driving functionality within Tesla cars approved in China.
This is a big development. This is something that Tesla charges $8,000 for, or a $99 a month subscription. If it can, make arrangements to get incremental revenue out of its customers in China, it could boost its business there at a time it could sorely use a lift.
Craig, as best I can tell, you've been logged on your Bloomberg terminal for like 27 hours straight, coordinating our teams in China, the US, in Europe. Just to explain the chronology of what happened, there were multiple stages to arrive at what is a tentative approval for FSD.
Yeah, we heard rumblings that Musk was maybe going to make this trip, and lo and behold, Sunday my time here in London, we wake up to this idea that yes, Musk has landed. This was a surprise in the sense that Tesla, doesn't even have a presence at this week's Beijing Auto Show. It's a show that got underway last week, but it certainly was, a timely visit in the sense that there are a lot of, government officials in town for the show. The auto industry has absolutely been a bright spot for the Chinese economy. And China's relationship with Tesla has been really positive. This is a success story, even with the challenges that this company has had lately with sort of continuing its momentum in China.
Remind us of the deals that have had to be done with Chinese players, though, ultimately, to be able to get the granting.
Yeah, the key one that Ed flagged is with Baidu. And I think this is really interesting because, Elon Musk has been on the record for many years now saying that Tesla doesn't need maps, that maps are a crutch.
Okay, so I just have to jump in here because I think I know where this is going. So let's look at the actual rumoured details before rampantly speculating, and then talk a little bit more about maps being a crutch. Elon Musk's quick visit to China paid immediate dividends, with Tesla receiving in-principle approval from government officials to deploy its driver assistance system in the world's biggest auto market. The US car maker was granted the approval under certain conditions, according to a person who obviously won't share their name, but apparently knows some stuff about the deal. Tesla did manage to clear two of the most important hurdles, reaching a mapping and navigation deal with Chinese tech giant Baidu, and meeting requirements for how it handles data security and privacy issues. This, of course, was an extremely inevitable outcome and was just a matter of time, so nobody should be surprised. But apparently, was Tesla stock up today again? 15+%? Apparently a few people were surprised. And now, let's talk about maps being a crutch. First of all, I just have a question. Riddle me this. Please, take the time to actually contemplate the answer to this question. If you, a human being, wishes to drive your vehicle somewhere else, how do you get to somewhere else from where you are? Now, I know this may seem quite obvious, but sometimes obvious things are not that obvious. In order for you to get to somewhere else from where you are, you need to know not only where you are, but where somewhere else is, e.g. low resolution map. You need to understand the road networks, as in which road do I need to go as a first step? And then which road do I take? Which roads connect to this road and eventually get to the destination? Okay? Pretty basic stuff, but you need your starting point, you need your end destination, and you need to understand the road network at a very low resolution, e.g. which turns do I take, which roads do I take to get to the destination? This is what Tesla and Baidu have now partnered for because, in case you don't know, for example, there ain't no Google Maps in China. When we've heard Musk historically refer to maps, and we're not just talking about super high resolution as in you can literally zoom in and see every little pebble on the road type of... No. The concept here is maps that include a fuck ton of additional details above and beyond this road connects to this road. What do I mean? Maps that include embedded detail on every set of traffic lights along the way, all the stop signs, every possible piece of information to help a dumb car navigate. Let me explain. A crutch, for example, you pre-map the entire area in high definition ahead of time using LiDAR, expensive as fuck, but now you know down to the inch, even the millimeter in some cases, where every little thing is, every curb, every bump, every pothole. In addition, you also know that this intersection has a set of lights and this has a right turn only lane. And so what happens is you just drive around and go, oh yeah, bounce on your light off, your lighter go, oh yeah, that's the thing that's already there. We already mapped that. Oh, and there's going to be a turn here. That's going to be a traffic light, even though I probably can't see or tell. I don't know because, wait, what? Oh, wait, traffic light. Yeah, that's right. The map told me. As opposed to Tesla's approach, which doesn't rely on the crutch of high definition maps with a bunch of additional information. Instead, the car looks and goes, oh yeah, traffic light. Sweet, I don't know what to do with these things. Oh, that's a right turn only. Hey, there's a stop sign. I know what to do there. This is the distinction when we hear about maps being a crutch and the low resolution maps versus high definition. This is what we're really talking about. It's all the additional information that a dumb car can rely upon to know what's going on and what it's going to need to do ahead of time, as opposed to intelligently in real time looking around and going, I know what's going on here. I can't cross those lines. That's a stop sign over there. I know what to do there, and so on. Now, to be very clear, Tesla themselves have in the past, and likely still, until they're extremely confident about the safety and capability of FSD, will continue to rely upon increasingly smaller crutches along the way. And very likely this Baidu deal will allow Tesla some of this information that they either don't need now or won't in the future. But it's very important to understand that Tesla's ultimate approach and end destination is software that's more capable and safer than a human being, that interprets the world in an equivalent way to a human by looking, perceiving, planning and acting. If you've ever driven your vehicle from point A to point B, you didn't need to know exactly how many traffic lights were along the way and where they'd be because you have a brain. And so your brain, which includes two protrusions that happen to be your eyes, by the way, like literally actually the back of your eyes is kind of an extension of your brain, no kidding. Your brain along the way goes, oh shit, I know what that is, a traffic light. Okay. Oh, it's red, I better stop here. Oh, it's a stop sign, I know what to do here as well. So this is what we're really referring to about maps being a crutch and Tesla's ultimate end destination.
We've got a very strong piece on the terminal out now talking about how, well, hold on, a week ago, Musk was supposed to go to India and he bailed and he's gone straight to China. It shows us the power dynamics and Musk's skill in all of this, right, Craig, in navigating geopolitics.
Yeah, I mean, there's been mutual back-scratching here between Elon Musk and the CCP for years now. Let's not forget that Tesla was the first, international car company or foreign car company to, be allowed to operate in China without having to agree to a joint venture with a local manufacturer.
This is true, and at the time it was an extremely bullish signal not only for Tesla, but also an incredible insight into Musk's ability to build partnerships and get shit done. A few people trapped in the California bubble will strongly disagree, but believe it or not, Musk is an incredible diplomat. And I'm not talking about his willingness to offend a few butthurt morons who think that sterilizing and mutilating children is okay, or that racism's okay. Neither of those things are okay, by the way. But look at what he's been able to do with SpaceX, negotiating with government in China, in Germany, globally. Well, you have the big guy, aka Joe Biden, offending the CCP in gaffe after gaffe. You have Musk building relationships, negotiating deals that have never been done before, having the CCP roll out the red fucking carpet for Tesla. Not only were they the first foreign automotive manufacturer to be able to wholly own a plant in China, a first, as opposed to being forced to partner with a local company in China and profit share. But as this announcement happened, the import tariffs on Tesla vehicles that were coming into China prior to the construction of the Shanghai factory were waived, and the CCP, who get what they want, forced local lenders to offer Tesla below market rates to finance construction of Giga Shanghai. This was a really incredible insight. Remember, China is the enemy of the United States. How'd this happen? Because Musk and Tesla, believe it or not, are incredibly diplomatic and great at relationship building. Now, those suffering from small brain syndrome will immediately clap back, oh, but Elon offended somebody that I know who's got blue hair and didn't have a father. If that's you, I just probably can't get through. We're talking about developing thriving relationships with entire nations where there's tensions internationally, yet still getting this stuff done. I'm not talking about offending some butthurt, confused student with an arts degree. There has been, over time, a lot of people claiming, for example, that Tesla's never going to be allowed to do FSD in China because CCP doesn't like the United States. I've pushed back quite strongly against this, explaining my reasoning and the historical examples of Musk and Tesla negotiating and developing such relationships, and here we fucking are. In fact, when we first heard about the deals with Giga Shanghai, I said words to the effect of, not only has the CCP rolled out the red carpet for Tesla, but they're now down on their knees and under the table. I think the moral of the story here is don't doubt Tesla, don't doubt Musk, and do assume that FSD will, in fact, roll out globally over time.
It was a huge, win for Musk and something that he fought for years. And, the construction of the plant for Tesla in Shanghai was, record time. It was extremely timely in the sense that, Musk was really ramping up the Model 3, trying to bring the Model Y out. And they were able to keep that plant running even during, the pandemic when, other plants in China had a really difficult time opening back up from the initial shutdowns. And so, China has very much supported Tesla when Tesla needed it most. And, we're seeing U.S. companies pull back a little bit from China, maybe at least de-risk a little. Apple's a good example of doing so. By the way, in India, I think people were looking at a potential investment by Tesla in India as a similar move. And it's clear that Musk doesn't see, urgency to do that.
And now the Tesla stock has surged 15+% overnight and up more than 30% in the last 5 days. Obviously, it's time for everybody to jump on the bandwagon because herd mentality is the best way to invest.
So how did Apple stock rally 2.5%? Tesla stock roar 15%. What happened? Right, I've been saying that Tesla stock would keep going down unless and until Elon Musk pulled a rabbit out of a hat. He wasn't able to find that rabbit in time for the quarter, but he bagged a terrific one this weekend when he got permission to sell a subscription-based derivative of full self-driving for the Tesla in China, which gives...
So did Elon Musk really pull a rabbit out of the hat? I guess you could say so. But the real question is, did we already know that rabbit was in the hat? And the answer is yes, if we were paying attention. Again, Tesla FSD is going to be available eventually everywhere on Earth. And Tesla is also going to produce, give or take, 20 million vehicles a year and sell them or keep them in their own robotaxi fleet, same shit, in the future. And also going to continually introduce more affordable, compelling electric vehicles and additionally continue to drive the costs of their existing vehicles down as well. These are all things that we know are going to happen. All rabbits that are in the hat. Another rabbit that we already know is in the hat is licensing FSD to other companies. Another rabbit we know is in the hat, Dojo as a service. Another rabbit we know in the hat, surging energy business. Another rabbit we know is in the hat is Optimus. Another rabbit we know is in the hat are robotaxis. And the reason I'm just pointing this out is just to make sure that the next time people go, oh shit, there's a rabbit in there. Fuck, I didn't know that rabbit was there. I can just say, I knew it was there. Why didn't you? Another example of why I don't try and time the market is I can see the rabbits. I just don't know when they're going to get pulled out. So I'm buying before everyone sees rabbit and rabbit and rabbit and rabbit and rabbit and rabbit and rabbit coming out one after another from Tesla's hat.
Gives him a whole new revenue stream, a big one. That can go a long way to restore price momentum after vicious price cutting in China. Just as important as how Musk got it. He made a surprise trip to China, met with Premier Li, and nailed down a deal with Baidu, the Google of China, that allows us to have the best maps available. This is unbelievable. And it's also a perfect example of the CEO redefining the narrative. There have been a feeling that Musk had gotten they had so much going on that he hadn't been paying attention to Tesla. Now here he is doing something no American CEO can do. Just get on a plane and make a deal with a leader of a country that our government isn't particularly fond of. I can't think of anything similar in the annals of American business, except maybe when Arm & Hammer went to the Soviet Union during the Russian Civil War and became Lenin's chosen capitalist. At the time, there were U.S. troops in Russia fighting against the communists, and this guy still made a fortune negotiating with Lenin. Of course, I don't put Xi Jinping in the same category as Lenin, but he's still much more, he's a little more friendly. But Hammer's the only other executive I can remember who could make a surprise trip to a hostile country and come back with an extremely lucrative deal. That said, it's not a magical elixir for Tesla. It's not full self-driving. Competition remains stiff. But let's face it, no one else can pull this off, which is why shareholders love the guy and bid the stock up so much, making fools of last week's downgraders.
And stock dumpers and traders.
It's almost as if that Musk had leverage over the regime. Hey, maybe he does. Maybe they're just as dazzled by him as everyone else. Either way, it's made people a lot of money. Will Tesla the move have staying power? Look, plenty of people shorted the stock, betting that they could finally break the darn thing. They failed. The stock can keep running until the shorts are all crushed.
Now, what are we looking at here? A post on X on the 23rd of April from some dickhead with 3 first names. What's all this about? Over this period, I have added about as many Tesla shares as the GK ETF has sold from its peak of 8,000 shares to 1,000. Of course, I am just a dumb YouTuber with a bad haircut who doesn't wear a suit and will deeply regret this decision in 5, 10, 15 and 20 plus years. Robotaxi, schmobotaxi. Key sentence here. My brain is too small to understand what a terrible mistake I have made. Plus, I'm a deluded Tesla fanboy who can't think clearly. This in reference to Tesla stock ownership in the GK ETF, the Future Fund ETF. Those are based on the scale on the left. Plus, a guy with 3 first names has added his own ownership also on the left. ARK investors also included, based on the scale on the right, given the fact that their ownership is literally 1,000 times more than any of these folks on the left here. The point that this guy with 3 first names was probably trying to illustrate, of course, I don't know because I'm not him, but I think what he was trying to suggest is that, well, it seems that he just keeps buying when he can afford to and isn't really sentiment driven and isn't really trying to time the market, whereas it's possible that some other folks may be a little bit more timing focused and sentiment driven. And what's this? A post from the 17th of April. Billionaire strut there. Some guy said leaked footage of me placing my Tesla buy orders today. So this dumb fuck was buying Tesla stock on the 17th of April after admitting he has a brain that's far too small to time the market. So instead, I guess that means he had some money and he decided to buy Tesla stock then and was pretty happy with that decision based on the GRIF. Tesla stock up about 25% since those orders executed. Of course, it could have gone the other way. But this is, of course, the same guy who continues to mention that he just buys when he's got money instead of trying to time the market. Maybe the subtext with this GIF was that it's a pretty good deal at the moment, in my opinion. Who knows what this guy actually meant, though? Does anyone know? And what do we have here? April 24th. Spoiler alert, Tesla stock up about 20% since this post. This weirdo was reposting himself from March, in which he said, my brain is too small to time the market, so I don't try. Updating that post, saying, update, my brain is still too small to time the market, so I don't try. And this dumbass just said, these are the 157 times I've purchased Tesla stocks since early 2016 and the price I paid each time. I continue to buy when I have money. I am focused on the long term and look 10 plus years into the future. Looks like this guy with 3 first names was paying in the low to mid teens when he first began buying Tesla stock. And it looks like he's continued to buy Tesla stock at regular intervals whenever he's had cash available since. 157 individual transactions, all purchases of Tesla stock over the last 8 years. It's a shame his brain isn't bigger, or he could have timed the market. Just finally, a couple of very recent posts from Elon Bad on X, one of which was this: "Don't mess with Tesla." Posted, I think, during market hours as Tesla stock surged following his trip to China. Let's see if he's posted anything else relating to Tesla of late. He posted this a few hours ago, a repost from what looks like a Tesla event. Let's watch this short clip. I wonder why Elon would be reposting an old clip publicly today out of nowhere.
The thing to appreciate is it's not that full self-driving will be as good as a person. It will be much, much better. Like a lot. Like over time, 10 times safer than a person. It's not even going to be a contest, frankly. So this is a really big deal. And I think some people realize it. I think you guys probably realize it. But being able to do a software update and have several million cars suddenly go from manual driving to autonomous, I think will be the single biggest asset value increase in history. The normal usage of a passenger car is roughly 10 to 12 hours per week, call it maybe an hour and a half per day. And when you drive around, you see lots of cars just parked in parking lots because out of the 168 hours in a week, they're using less than 10%, maybe 7% of the hours of the week a car is in use. But once it is autonomous, it can be used probably, 50 hours a week, maybe more. So it is effectively a 5-fold increase in the value of a car overnight. I'm actually surprised that so few people realize this, or maybe they just don't believe it's real, but it is. So this is really an insanely big deal.
Now, obviously, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and when he says that something his company's working on is an insanely big deal, he's obviously going to be wrong, so definitely ignore this. I don't know why he posted this today. It's a bit strange. Do not forget, folks, Tesla's market cap today just over $600 billion with this recent surge. Despite that, still down more than 50% from its all-time high closing price in late 2021. Something to ponder. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, "What do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect." Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.